Valencia, a city located on Spain's eastern coast at the mouth of the Turia River, with over 800,000 inhabitants, was awakened to sad news on the 22nd of February 2024. An enormous fire broke out, leaving the 14-story tower totally destroyed. The event was devastating, leaving a trail of destruction and despair in its wake.
Oh my God, they're screaming!
A smartphone video captured the 7th floor balcony on fire at around 5:30 p.m. local time. Within 15 minutes, the entire building was engulfed, with the wind contributing heavily. Individuals who witnessed the flames described what they saw as a fireball. How could a tragic incident like this happen? Stay tuned as we find out. In the past, many older Spanish homes were known for being chilly in the winter. A surprising 51% of Spanish houses were constructed without any insulation, leading to discomfort during colder seasons. As construction methods advanced, insulation became standard practice. Traditional brick and mortar were replaced by cavity insulation concealed behind cladding panels, providing improved warmth and comfort in modern Spanish homes. Cavity insulation was used in both the burned-down apartment complex in Valencia and the Grenfell Tower in London. The Grenfell Tower was entirely destroyed by a fire in 2017, resulting in the deaths of 72 people. Could the building technique have contributed to these tragedies? Let's take a moment to look back at what happened to Grenfell Tower. The Grenfell Tower is one of the buildings where polyurethanes were used. In the early morning of the 14th of June 2017, a devastating fire engulfed the Grenfell Tower, a 24-story residential building in North Kensington, West London. The fire started at 0:54 local time and raged for 60 hours. Tragically, 70 individuals lost their lives at the scene, while 2 others passed away later in the hospital. Additionally, more than 70 people sustained injuries, and 223 managed to escape the inferno. This incident marked the deadliest structural fire in the UK since the 1988 Piper Alpha oil platform catastrophe. It was also the most severe residential fire in the UK since the World War II bombings. The fire originated from an electrical fault in a refrigerator on the 4th floor, rapidly spreading up the building's exterior. The flammable aluminum composite cladding and external insulation, separated by an air gap, fueled the flames, swiftly engulfing all residential floors. Following the fire, thorough investigations by the police, a public inquiry, and coroner's inquests were launched to unravel the complexities surrounding the incident. Key areas under scrutiny did not only include the management of the building, fire brigade responses, and government actions, but also the use of materials and the companies involved in cladding.
The government on statements made by Gavin Barwell. Now, by coincidence, he's the new Chief of Staff here, but he was the Housing Minister until he lost his seat last Thursday. He, last year in Parliament, promised new fire safety regulations, and Labour have been claiming that those haven't been brought in. That was in response to a fire in southeast London, actually in the constituency of Harriet Harman.
In May 2018, a report was released as a result of an independent review of building regulations and fire safety. This review was initiated by the Parliament. Both the UK and international governments have examined tower blocks with similar cladding, with ongoing efforts to replace them. Unfortunately, the United Kingdom cladding crisis has emerged as an unintended consequence, leading to hardships for those affected. A public inquiry, the Grenfell Tower Inquiry, started in September 2017. The fire and related issues were investigated, which resulted in the first report in October 2019. It was found that the building's exterior didn't meet the rules, leading to the fire spreading. The fire service's delay in advising evacuation was also highlighted. A second phase to dive into wider causes began in 2020, with hearings already completed. The inquiry panel is finalizing the report, which is to be expected in 2024. After its release, the Crown Prosecution Service, the principal public agency for conducting criminal prosecutions, will decide on potential criminal charges. The Grenfell Tower tragedy led to changes in Spain's regulation in 2019. Legislation now mandates the use of fire-resistant insulation. The apartment block in Valencia was built in 1991, when Spain had less restrictive legislation, and was later finished in 2008. In Valencia's vibrant new neighborhood, this modern complex has emerged over the past 2 decades. The complex included 2 connected buildings, one standing 14 stories high and the other 10 stories. with a stunning panoramic lift and a relaxing pool in the middle. It contained a total of 138 apartments, with commercial spaces on the lower floors and top-floor apartments boasting spacious terraces. While the cause of the fire is still unknown, the building's cladding material, which is added to the outside of the high-rise blocks to improve the aesthetics and the insulation, contained highly flammable materials, which caused the fire to spread rapidly. Some experts believe that the highly flammable content of the building's cladding material was a polyurethane layer. Polyurethanes are widely used in our daily lives, from homes to cars and sports. It's a versatile plastic that can be rigid or flexible. It is commonly used in insulation, furniture cushioning, mattresses, car parts, coatings, adhesives, shoe soles, and more. It's the go-to material for a variety of applications, making it essential for various products we use every day. But is it safe? In Valencia, Esther Ponchedes from the insurance inspection agency APCAS inspected the residential buildings struck by the fire. She highlighted that the absence of firewalls and the use of polyurethane beneath the aluminum cladding facilitated the rapid spread of the fire. She explained that polyurethane, when exposed to flames, melts and ignites, leading to large, fiery droplets falling to lower floors and igniting fires upward. Contrarily, Spain's Association of Rigid Polyurethane Industry disputed this claim, stating there was no proof of polyurethane in the cladding. Some experts suggested that the insulation material beneath the aluminum might have been rock wool instead. So, up to this point, there remains uncertainty about the insulation used. What is clear, though, is the severity of the disaster. With at least 9 people dead, more are still suspected to be missing as the blaze engulfed the 14-story block in the Campanar neighborhood, spreading to an adjoining building. In the wake of such a devastating event, questions are being asked not just about the fire but also about the safety of the lives of the people in the Campanar neighborhood. The building, known to be home to about 450 residents, contains 138 flats. This tragic incident occurred early in the evening. About 15 people, including 6 firefighters and a young child, were injured with fractures, burns, and smoke inhalation. In a dramatic turn of events, the heroic actions of a vigilant concierge resonated across the building, saving many lives. Through urgent warnings and swift evacuation orders, residents were alerted to the raging fire outbreak. The emergency response was rapid, with firefighters, ambulances, and law enforcement swiftly converging on the scene. Eyewitnesses described a rapid and all-consuming blaze that swiftly engulfed one building before spreading to a neighboring structure. Despite the intense heat-limiting access, firefighters managed to rescue several residents up to the 12th floor. Over 22 fire teams battled the fire amid strong winds, worsening the situation, which was exacerbated by fierce winds reaching speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour, causing the fire to intensify and challenging firefighting efforts. A daring rescue of a father and daughter stranded on a balcony unfolded as firefighters utilized advanced equipment to reach them. Local reports revealed what people saw during the incident. One woman told TVE she had seen firefighters attempting to rescue a teenage boy trapped on the building's first floor. Luis Ibanez, who lives nearby, told TVE he had looked out of a window and saw the flames engulfing the block within a matter of minutes, saying it was as if it were made of cork. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The whole side of the building directly opposite was on fire. One man who lived on the second floor of the building told TV channel La Sexta that the flames grew rapidly after the fire started, reportedly on the 4th floor. The fire spread in a matter of 10 minutes, he said, and added, that material on the facade of the building may have caused the fire to spread. The catastrophic scale of the incident prompted the deployment of military resources, with 40 fire engines and 90 soldiers mobilized in the area. Additionally, a field hospital was established to aid the injured. As the morning dawned on February 23rd, the extreme heat within the building hindered search and rescue operations, and the block stood as a massive, charred shell. Residents were advised to steer clear of the vicinity, utilizing drones for exploring the building and cooling the exterior. Emergency personnel strived to locate any potential victims amidst the aftermath. While visiting the scene that same morning, Valencia's mayor, Maria José Catala, mentioned that they were still searching for around 9 to 15 individuals. Additionally, the government's regional representative stated that 14 people were still missing, according to police and neighbor reports. However, the number of people in the 2 buildings at the time of the fire outbreak is not yet known. On Saturday, 24th of February, the following day in Valencia, The death toll from the devastating fire that engulfed 2 residential buildings tragically increased to 10. Authorities discovered what is believed to be the last missing person's remains. The 10th victim was found by forensic police inside the burned structure. The police will conduct DNA tests to confirm the identities of all the victims, as stated by Valencia's national government delegate, Pilar Bernabe. The neighborhood of Campanar didn't leave the victims of this terrifying disaster to themselves. They set up campaigns to collect clothing for the displaced people and donated food, clothing, and toiletries, while taxi drivers offered free transportation to affected residents to get to hotels that had been set up as temporary shelters. The disaster prompted swift action from local and national leaders. Carlos Mazon, president of the Valencian government, expressed deep dismay. He urged residents to stay away from the area, allowing emergency services to work unhindered. The mayor of Valencia took decisive steps. She declared 3 days of official mourning, recognizing the gravity of the situation. Events, including the much-anticipated first day of the Valencia Fire Festival, were cancelled as a somber consequence of the tragedy. But the response extended beyond Valencia's borders. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez tweeted his shock and pledged unwavering support. He promised all necessary assistance to those affected. Alberto Núñez Feijóo, the opposition leader, echoed the concern felt by many. The entire nation stood united in grief. Even royalty joined the chorus. The royal household issued an official statement. King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia closely monitored the situation, expressing their heartfelt support for emergency responders and sending healing wishes to the injured. From Vatican City, Pope Francis sent a solemn telegram, offering condolences to those affected by the tragedy. In honor of all those who lost their lives in the fire and the survivors of this disaster, a La Liga match between Valencia and Granada that was due to be held on the 24th of February at the Mestalla Stadium and a match between Levante and Andorra were postponed. The Royal Spanish Football Federation set a minute of silence before the UEFA Women's Nations League semi-final match between Spain and the Netherlands in Seville on the 23rd of February. With hearts heavy with loss, relatives of Grenfell Tower fire victims and those affected by a similar tragedy in Milan made a pilgrimage to Valencia to honor the fallen and remember them. Flowers, symbols of solace, were tenderly laid at the site of the building fire. Tears mingled with petals as they paid tribute to lives lost. With about 10 lives lost, dreams shattered, homes destroyed, and fear burning with its flames, this city will never forget this tragic incident and its aftermath. This frightening disaster is now known as the deadliest fire in Valencia since 1447. We all hope to never witness such a mishap again. Will measures be taken to prevent such a thing from ever happening again? Time will tell. What are your thoughts on this heartbreaking incident? Let us know in the comments below. Your insights matter, and if you found this story impactful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep you updated on more gripping narratives and real-world events.